Next up on the agenda is business from City Council members. Councilmember Buckland.
I attended here 2 weeks ago. Attended the SACOG Board of Directors meeting. I did invite the Sutter Buttes Tea Party because they'd been here at a council meeting just a couple days prior to that, voicing opposition to grant funding through Proposition 84, and that came up in front of the SACOG Board of Directors at that meeting, and they took the same action that this board did in seeking that grant funding, but I wanted them to have an opportunity to be heard. Also went to the Officer of the Year dinner, an outstanding presentation of our law enforcement officials all the way from Yuba City out to Beale and down to Wheatland, and was well attended by all of the law enforcement community and also the support community around them, along with elected officials. I had an opportunity to go to my first 211 steering committee meeting, and very interesting, very small group, looking for more volunteers to be able to come in and help with that steering committee. And I will say that they do try to keep to their time frames, and they're very committed to the process and would encourage any member of the public to join in, and certainly there will be eventually a website up and available to post all those meeting times, but it's a very hardworking group of individuals, one of which is here right now. Also went to the down to SACOG for the intelligent transportation meeting. Most of this dealing with Caltrans corridors. Really not a lot up in our direction, other than there is some focus on the 99 and Highway 65 corridors that is being looked at by Caltrans District 3. Most of us taking of the transportation needs that were being looked at this meeting pertain to the WX in Sacramento and other transportation corridors right around Sacramento. Along with the entire other members of the council, went to the Buckeye Festival, went to the Hostess kind of meeting. This is where we get to meet who the Buckeye Hostess is. Also, everyone, I think, except for Councilmember Starkey, was at the parade. I'm not calling you out, man. I'm not calling you out. But he was afraid it was going to rain, and it was dry. But all of the other Buckeye functions were absolutely amazing. So, and appreciated being able to spend more time in those public events with each of the members too. It's a great time.
Great, thank you, Councilmember Mon.
Well, we go to a lot of the same events, and it's a little more casual. We're spending time with each other, and also with our elected officials from the Board of Supervisors from the two counties. Department heads. It's a great weekend to have that. There were several functions in the relation to the parade starting Friday, and good to build relationships regional. And I guess it's still true that it never rains on Buckeye Parade. Also had the pleasure of going to the Officer of the Year dinner in honor to honor our people that protect and serve the community. They a lot of great officers. A couple of committee meetings. Attended the Housing Authority. Our Housing Authority now is the Nevada County and also attended the Yuba Center.
Thank you, Councilmember Mon. Councilmember Starkey.
Due to prior commitments, I was unable to attend a lot of the Buckeye events, and I was unable to attend the police officers' dinner because I was at a conference in Palm Springs. Checking out water situations. So basically, I have nothing to report.
Mai Tai waters or vodka waters? Or?
The ability to take reclaimed water and use on golf courses that are very beautiful golf courses. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Starkey. Vice Mayor Dukes.
All right, number of items. 2 weeks ago, attended the Mosquito Vector Conference, their annual conference, and it's amazing to me that there's a lot of people in this community that don't have a clue of what this organization does to keep our community safe from West Nile virus. There's mosquitoes in the state that are carriers of yellow fever. Not to alarm anybody, but these are in southern portion of the state, yellow fever and dengue fever. And so these organizations work hard to figure out how to keep us safe from those diseases that typically have been in other parts of the world and third world countries that are making their way to our area. So it's an invaluable service of what they do for our community. Also attended the Police Officer of the Year Awards banquet, the Redevelopment Agency's Oversight Board, the African American History Month out at Beale Air Force Base, and then the ribbon cutting for Sutter County Children's Commission here locally. Of course, all the Buckeye events, and then, as I mentioned earlier, the North Sac Valley Regional Water Management Group. So it's a busy couple weeks, but
You haven't done nothing lately, have you?
haven't done much, no. But I will say this, in attending the events like Buckeye and the other events that the Peace Officer Awards banquet, I'm proud that our council does a very good job of representing our citizens and our public, and we typically have the largest delegations at those events, and I just commend everyone for the time that they put into supporting those organizations.
Absolutely, and let me say thank you to each and every one of you, because when we do attend a lot of these functions, majority of the time it's all five of us that are at these public events after hours, and it's kind of nice. You were there at the Friday night, so it was all five of us at that, and it was kind of nice because Mary was in Marysville, and Marysville, I think, only had their mayor was the only one that was there, and they were asking where the rest of the council members were, and nobody knew. And that's what we're elected to do, is to represent the public and the people. And those are our duties, to be at these functions. A lot of times you can't make it, but a lot of times there's three of us there, a lot of times there's two of us there, but somebody from our council is always at these public events. So, and it takes a lot of work and dedication, but I know we do make it a priority to be at these events. Also did attend, we have these meetings that go on from different commissions and councils and so forth. One of the committees I sit on, or several of them, but the flood agency, Sutter Beach Flood Agency meeting was pushed back to the end of this month because the bid openings were pushed back by 2 weeks. And they'll be opening up bids to get for this entire Sutter Butte Flood Agency for the entire levee work. Is about almost $80 million project they're trying to award in one bid. And so you've got a lot of the large companies that are looking to bid this, which is kind of nice, as well as some local companies that have bid on it and have worked on it in the past that may be able to do it a lot less than we originally thought. So we'll keep you guys apprised of that. But also attended the Sutter County Families First ribbon cutting. We talked about the Buckeye. We've talked about the Officer of the Year, but congratulations to Michael Bullard for being the Officer of the Year for the City of Yuba City. We interact with one another, but it's at these functions you get to learn a little bit more about the people that protect us. And I've known Michael, but I didn't know he was a Navy SEAL Team 5 member. Former member, so that's one of the people that we have that's out and about, and we've got some of the greatest talented folks here that work for the City of Yuba City, and we're very blessed to have that. I did want to also thank Bianchi Ag Services Ag Sales. They're the ones that provided our gators for a ride. They dropped them off and they picked them up as just a courtesy, and so I do want to say thank you to Jim and his group for bringing them out and letting us ride in those. And I do also want to thank everyone here for attending those events, and also want to wish you, Mr. Buckland, happy birthday. If you're wondering what those balloons are, we're trying to figure out what the revenue expenditure thing, we couldn't see it, Robin, otherwise we would have corrected you, but because we were kind of trying to dodge around those, balloons. So I guess you are 29 again, right? Yeah, I noticed you were moving a little bit slower today than you were yesterday, so something is there. Yeah, second anniversary of 29, right? But that's all I have for tonight, and thank you guys very much for attending today's meeting and taking time out of your schedule. With that, meeting is adjourned.